وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God, Almighty God of grace, God of mercy, God of compassion, we continue to ask that of your almightiness that you will grant all of us, humankind that you have made in your image and in your likeness, that we will be bold enough to confess of the evil deeds that each and every one of us have done, that we should be ready to surrender, because there is nothing that is hidden from your sight. Oh, knowing that, Lord, we should not be afraid to tell our fellow human being and to confess of our evil deeds, so that from now on, repentance and reconciliation will work for the common good of all. And so we continue to submit all the witnesses that will come here in the Trrc, and we ask that by your grace, they will be bold enough to confess of what they have done in the past, and to seek for forgiveness and for reconciliation. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odeko. Council, we are still dealing with the National Intelligence Agency. As we have said, and many of us here, that it was the institution that was at the center of gross violations of human rights and abuses that we have been mandated to look into. Hence, the focus, as we said earlier, is still on that agency. Before you bring in your witness, you may want to just throw some light on our continuing focus on the NIA, and this is going to go on for a little bit longer. Council, you have the floor, please.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Indeed, we are still proceeding with the investigations into the violations carried out or perpetrated by the NIA. We are still on this particular topic simply because the NIA was at the heart of the violations that occurred. Quite clearly, what has emerged is that Yahya Jammeh has used the NIA as the place and the instrument he would use to torture Gambians and instill fear on them, so that he would achieve his objectives of perpetuating himself in power. Because of the central role played by the NIA in this whole matter, I mean, a lot of violations occurred at the NIA. So we are still on it. The witness for today is one person who was adversely mentioned as head of special operations, and we calling him today to answer to the allegations against him, but also to help the Commission understand what were the functions of the special operations and how they contributed to the violation of rights of Gambians. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much for that bit of information. I think it's good from time to time to remind the public of the roadmap that we have going on. You may now proceed to bring in your witness if you're ready.
I, Lamin Dabo.
I, Lamin.
nte
I, Lamin Dabo.
nte Lamin Dabo
Nte Lamin Dabo.
Do swear that
mben kalila ko
Ben kalila ko.
I'll speak the truth,
mbe toñale fola
Mbe toñal fola.
the whole truth,
toña damma
Toña damma.
and nothing but the truth.
nte fem fola men manke toñati
Nte femmo fola men manki toñata.
So help me God.
woto alama ala en ndema
Wato ala yemma koy.
See.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
isama sedo
Welcome to the TRRC.
mbe bisimilandila TRRC jang
You have, could you, that thing,
Sorry.
the rosary bead, the beads that you have on you, could you just pass it over to one of your family members? Or keep it away somewhere? Thank you. Thank you very much.
inimbar
Mola. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. May I crave the indulgence of the commissioners to accommodate us a little bit while that vehicle is being moved so that the reflection would not affect the commissioners where they're seated. Our sincere apologies for that. In the meantime, Mr. Dabo, welcome to the TRRC.
Mr. Dabo mbe bisimilandila TRRC
Welcome.
Thank you. Could you sit either closer to the microphone or you draw it closer to yourself?
Okay.
Take a sitting posture that would make you feel comfortable.
si nyama membe de handila satara ise fansoto a nyama
Okay, welcome.
Mr. Dabo, you have just taken an oath
Mr. Dabo yekkali wole ke jang sayin
to speak the truth.
bebe toñale fola
Yes. You know it's a criminal offense in the laws of this country to lie under oath.
luwati ñalom ñim banko kan pour ye kali wo kola yana kuma soto balofo
Nga kalamta.
I'm aware. It is also an offense to provide false testimony to the TRRC.
ñim fana mu luwati ñalti ka kuma soto balofo TRRC siwoto jang
Nga kalamta.
I'm aware. Today, I want to discuss the following things with you.
bi mbela fila niye kacha ñin kolu la mbina menu folateng
Bismillah.
Your biographical information,
folo italom jumati toni kontongo e bota damen e fango e kalango Kenya
the creation of the Special Operations Unit of the NIA and its functions,
aning yo bunda melondi NIA e ka fa special operations wolem do kulu menu ye nyala tombong itamando aning ila do ko mumuneti
the operations that you participated in,
aning ibarata do kulu menu la itema beta menu to
and specifically we would want to talk to you about particular incidents.
andu ko lambe lafla ke ni diamu ndi kodo la men yalon ko mu ku keri ngol leti foka pare
One is Silaba Samate.
kilimbije wolem silaba samate la kuoti
The second is Lamin Kabu and all the people he was arrested together with in the botched drug deal that was taking place in Birkama.
Fulanjango wolem la min kabuti aning ya ni molu menu be muta nyola bring wo sira fenjawo kunya akobe tama akod men keta Birkama kolu menu ketaje wo fanan lata nyaming.
That should include Lamin Kabu, Fernando Ku, Ansumana Fati, Lamin Sima, Tijan Dur, Alaji Sajo, and Karamo something.
Wolem nyimolu ti ay nyil menu be to foteng wolebe ko nyin kono.
We would also talk about Abbas Jaju, Joko Sow, Seydou Sow, and Kamara.
Mbe lafila fana niedia mu nyimolu la ko la Joko Sow aning ay menu to foten fokana bula Seydou Kamara la.
We would also talk about the case of Yusuf Asedi.
Andumbe Yusuf Asedi fana mbe lafila niyo fana na ko kacha.
We would talk about Sajo Toure. Others call him Mustafa Toure.
Mbe lafila fana niye Sajo Toure la kumo fodolu kafa Mustafa Toure.
From Fajikunda.
Membota Fajikunda.
We have to talk about the Yaya Jammeh's butcher who was taken from Abuko.
Mbe diamula Yaya Jammeh la busur lala ye membondi Abuko.
We will talk about Sehu Drame
Mbe
from GNPC.
Mbe Sehu Drame fana na kumo fola membota GNPC.
We will talk about Sam Kambai and Keba Seka and Co.
Mbe Sam Kambai nin Keba Seka fana na kumo fola la ate nimmo kotengolu.
We will talk about the arrest and disappearance of Abdoulaye Gueye.
Abdoulaye Gueye ya muta ayemanta bitun wo ko fanan ketanya mimbe lafila niyo fanan kacha.
We would talk about your role in the torture of Captain Jallo and Captain Job along the margins of the investigations of the 30 December 2014 attack.
Mbe lafila niyedia mu Captain Jallo anin Captain Job la kuwa la December karotil tansa bobo inkandiro la kunya luto.
We would talk about your involvement with Jahate of Golden Real Estate.
Mbe lafila niyedia mu fanan Jahate la kuoto me ya lon kwa bulobe du kukono ikafo me ye Golden Real Estate.
Lansana Yafa.
Anin Lansana Yafa.
Ibrahima
Jaite.
And Konjira.
Anin Konjira.
We will talk about your interactions with them.
Ita ni woli ye kolu menu tamandi mbe lafila ni woli ni yedia mu fanana.
It's a long list.
Jam fatal de.
We would want to finish today.
Andumbe lafila ngabambi.
If you cooperate and answer questions directly, we would finish quickly.
Niya sono yandi yanyinin karolu jabi anya matilingu kang mbembandi la junale.
If you don't, then we would spend a lot of time here.
Nima ke onyadung wotombe mela janede.
So it's just like the dentist. You go there, you cooperate, the tooth is extracted easily and without much pain.
Amunta ni tata nyinjara la ya ni nyindi mingo purka sono yandi ay nyingo bondi yesong isaje kulisi sono ya.
But if the patient is difficult and does not cooperate, well, the tooth would be extracted, but it would be very painful and long and difficult.
Arbitun ni nyindi mingo fitata nyinjara la madungo nyingo nyanta utulale itemari imanna song kuli sono ya abe melal de ando abe diminna le fanang fojal ni nyingo be utula.
And sometimes all that would not be necessary.
Andun tumodolu atakela ko ubeo nyanta kela le fang.
So the ball is in your court.
Silam bitun ko bebe laring ifangola ma fangolela.
Are you ready to begin?
Say ipareta le banga damuta.
Yes. What are your full names?
Itoni kontong mumuneti.
Dom Lamin M. Dabo.
My name is Lamin M. Dabo.
You're very soft-spoken, so you have to speak up or speak into the microphone so that you would be heard clearly.
Yo bitun wairi la diamo buka saribake foye kango wulindi wala ye diamo fo microphone kono pour mol samoy.
Date and place of birth?
E wuluta lunjumale ani wuluta sate jumale to.
Wuluta Jara Burenne.
I was born in Jara Bureng.
I think 12 June 1976.
12 June 1976.
Where did you go to school?
E karanta karambun jumale to ya follow damin.
Dada Burang Primary School.
I attended Burang Primary School.
1988 to 94.
From 1988 to 1994.
And then?
And I proceeded to Sukuta Middle School, 1994.
I proceeded to Sukuta Middle School in 1994.
Yeah.
What is your highest level of education?
Ila londo tukungo meinja lonko atele seleta ila londo bundalu beti wala mjumati.
Grade 9 certificate.
Grade 9 certificate.
Do you have the certificate with you? I had asked you to bring it.
For certificate o nyimbe bulle jambang kalu ngafo ene numpure ya nati.
I think I do. Ngame abembul inshallah.
I think it's with me.
All right, I would see it later, correct?
Mbajela le nyato domanding.
Thank you very much.
Inumbara.
What did you do after you finished grade 9?
Briye grade 9 karango bang yemune foloke.
By the way, do you realize that grade 9 is 3 years of education post-primary school?
Fanyil lonko grade 9 amunta imari ye nibota primary karambu amunta ye sanji sabadoron ne karang kala primary karambu nyinna wuce okan walam grade 90.
I'm aware.
What did you do after you finished grade 9?
Briye grade 9 bang yemuneke.
I'm thinking.
I did nothing.
When did you join the NIA?
Idunta NIA do koto sanjumale.
1999.
And to what position were you appointed at the NIA?
Briye dunta je foloke ye palasi jumale dila NIA.
Physical security guard, Kantar Bundal.
I was a security guard.
You mean you were a security guard?
Walem nyinti ko etemu kantar laleti.
At the gate?
Bunda to bang?
Yes.
Why were you employed as a security guard?
Muna na yeta keke bunda kantar lati.
I was recruited for that. I do not know why. That was where I started from.
But wasn't it clear that because of your level of education, that was the only position or one of the positions for which you were qualified?
Four. Ila londo la dangwa danta daming. Fo le manke dalilo ti munanna yo palaso dila wala wolem palaso ti ila londo nimmen makamo tembeta.
Sikeno.
It could be.
It is not, it could be.
Amanke ko asekeno.
That was the truth.
Wale mutonyati.
That is what you were qualified for.
Wale palaso ti ila londo abe tembo mento iseme doko menkeno.
Seeing that the certificate you had was in fact below secondary 4 certificate.
Katu ya jele ko certificate o membebulo. Abe secondary 4 makamo ye dumale.
It was the lowest certificate anyone can have in the education system of this country.
Womu certificate leti me ya lonko wole duma yang kata certificate olu beti mo semen sotono ni karango ke nyimbanko kan.
I'm listening to you.
You have to answer the question. This was the lowest certificate issued by the education system of this country.
Be jabiro kelele ñinon certificate ti men jita certificate olu beti karambungulu men karanta karambungulu to isi men sotono natara e karanta Gambia la ñin karambun santon kolleto.
Nkasi keno because manfanta doko la.
I said it could have been because I did not employ myself.
No, the question is,
Nyininkaro mumendi.
this is a matter of fact, which you know.
Nyimuto nyalti meng itafano yalong.
Do you know of any other certificate issued under the authority of the state which was below grade 9 certificate?
Fodung ite ya lonne ban certificate do si soto nyim banko kan nyim banko la karango silo lu be nyamin isi mendino mola me ya lon ko wala jita grade 9 certificate oti duma fo abijele bayte si bo men kalama.
Of course you know of none.
Wala nyente atije.
Do you agree?
Isonda wala.
I heard you.
Mr. Witness, answer the question.
Sedo nyininkaro jabi.
Maolong.
I don't know that.
You don't know of any certificate that is below grade 9 certificate?
No.
Answer?
I say honey, no.
No.
Thank you very much. You walked at the gate
Yedo ko ke bundato.
and you were later transferred inside.
Wokola inate saundi konoto.
Correct?
Walembang.
Yeah.
True.
And to what responsibility?
Biri dundi konoto ye mundo kule dila woto.
Inke oddly Latin.
I was made an oddly.
And do you know what is an oddly? Give us a description, a definition of oddly.
Fayalo ne munen oddly la do koti wo oddly ya munen a faram fansi nya jambang.
Otumo na doko menti ka.
At the time, my responsibilities were
Director General Kala Kantarlati, Ninka Makwe Alahajo Doko Dol.
you become the guard of the Director General and also to help him with other tasks.
What are these other tasks?
Munle wo do ko doluti ka mako menna.
See, official assignments, or Kidaria or whatever.
He could give you official assignments, also send you on errands.
The fact of the matter is, as orderly, you are to be his close protection person, correct?
Ko moment wala mnyinti niketa odleote amunta etele kake abalama kantalati ka kanta mensi katala.
Correct?
Yes, that's part of it.
To carry his things,
Kala
like
fengo
his
lusamba.
papers, his documents, his briefcase, and things like that.
Kala kaito lusamba ala sakoso aniwo nyom kufasongolu.
Correct?
Fonde.
Yes.
And to be his errand boy, to be running his errands.
Ani na sulata kilaria la ayemari ki kata nina ala kilaria rol.
Yes.
It involved no clerical or intellectual task.
Andu dukuta kono meya lonko asike klak ya dukoti wala asike lundi dinkarin dukoti.
Correct?
Fonde.
The commission would deduct an answer from his silence, because it's...
Ila deo commission baju bela ila deo dalilo momente wal baju bela.
You have no response?
Where the manjabiru soto?
I do.
I have a response.
Respond, please.
Oto jabiro di?
Security doko.
The work of security.
They are describing to my understanding.
It's more than the manner in which you described it, by my understanding.
Much more security member intelligence.
Especially matters of intelligence.
Yes, but at this stage, did you undergo any training?
Baro tembo. Fodu ye sambale ka katadu ko karambang.
Nemo security gate. Amanke ko eka bunda yelo damaleke. We are record chipping net.
Could you answer the question?
If you are a security guard at the gate, your responsibilities are not just to open and close the gate.
Could you answer the question? At
Ay
this
ñinin
stage,
ka menna.
did you undergo any training?
Fodum biri eta o tembo be security guard yal. Ye samba karangula le bang.
Ha nga karanjama ka je.
Yes, we had a lot of training there.
Did you do any training on personal security?
Fodu ye karangu kele me ya lon ko wolem hadama dingo tankarang kay karangote alondo.
Ya nga indo training jama ke.
We had several indoor trainings.
Like what?
Melu be ko
Like be même security ati be detainil bin kasoto je be garde la nyaadi le. Okay.
Like what is security? How do you guard the detainees in there?
Mol min kana
The people that come in,
la na nyaalu ni la ta nyaalu.
they are coming in and going out.
Official min be konoto.
The officers inside,
Mol min kata je.
the people that go in there.
Are you trained on the people who go there?
fo ye karan le pour molu menu kata official to kata
Momo nata je kata office te nyanta lon na nyin kata office kare to ya record adunda wato me na fundita wato me.
Anyone that comes to the office, you record their time of arrival, to what offices they are going into, and also you record their departure time.
Are you talking about the job or are you talking about the training?
be do ko Kenya le fo kambam fodum ye karandi men ite ko lu menu karang e bol le fo kan
Yen karandi wala.
They taught me that as well.
Okay. And what else?
nimu
Aning alaman tankala ning problem surto je o emergency o bay almarta alkamara mollela.
And also, God forbid, if there is any serious happening there, since you are there guarding people,
Ning wol sifal nate be fan tankala nyaadi le o be mol tankala je nyaadi le.
if such situations arise, how you would be able to protect yourself and also to protect those detainees.
You would agree with me from what you have just described. This is just some orientation on the job that you are to do on a day-to-day basis.
nisi somma ite kamem foten womu yitandirole ti pour ite mari nyanta bara la menna ila do ko kono lu wolu ni nata do ko la
True?
fonde
Zonta.
I agree.
After working, for how long did you work as an orderly?
ye wu cejelle do ko odli yala yo wati jelle ke odli yala
Physical security or oddly?
Odli.
Odli
2 years, so I think 2 years. Two Sanji Fulani Fenda.
A little over 2 years.
And who was the DG to whom you served as orderly?
jumala mu DG tinu ite mu menna odli tinu ngotumo
Daba Marina Safle.
I served Daba Marena,
And then?
Sambu.
Harry Sambu,
And then?
And Pajallo.
Pajalo.
And after that, where did you go?
biro
Where
batala
did you move to?
biro batala saundi min tole
I was on the investigation department.
I was moved to the investigation department.
Who moved you there?
jumala saundi je
Mahmoud Hydra, if I can't remember well.
Omodo Hydra.
How did it happen?
oketa nyaadi le
And transfer investigation department purunga doko nyi fa mo.
He transferred me to the investigation department so that I'll be able to get to know the job better.
To become
Karang doko kono ya.
to become an officer, to become an agent.
pour nyin kamala yana ke agentoti do ko bunda fan kono je
Isn't it?
fonde
Yes. Ha.
Yes.
What was the minimum qualification for agent?
pa pour ka ke agentoti wala do ko la membe tar law do ko lu kunna amari la londo makamo nyanta tembe la juma tembe juma anyanta tar la tembe juma le to
Tete olon no la tembo.
I couldn't have known that at the time.
Tembo, yeah.
I couldn't have known what the qualifications were at the time.
Did you sit to the entrance exam?
For the yellow the contibo kele bang examination.
Don't the contibo nyali?
What kind of examination?
Contibo ka for me examination palaso dolu
Selection exams.
Palaso dolu bije na mane sambaje ika tombondiro kele nyameng ika londi contibo leke folo ika exam leke ne pass yata o palaso to fo yo kele ba ke nyinin kawol.
Did you sit to the selection exam?
Throughout Nataroye man selection exam kalamdaye.
I have not been aware of any selection examination there in my entirety of the entire time that I was there.
We do understand that oftentimes the NIA used to conduct selection exams.
Na nyim faham ko wati ni wati ena ewluka wo tombondiri londi contibo kele.
We'll move on.
I was not aware of that.
And from investigations, where did you go?
Ribota kisikisiro bundala investigations. Yes, how ndimintole kotake.
How long did you remain at investigation?
Ya wuche jelleke investigations wati jalu.
Investigation. Sanjifula or more.
I think I spent 2 years or more there.
And then?
Biro batala.
Which year? Which year?
Sanjumala bufamoti.
You can refer to your documents.
Sila kaito lujube puru asi hakilo bulandi.
From 2007 up to 2008-9.
From 2007,
my friend, it cannot be 2007 up to 2008-9. There is no such thing as 2008-9.
Ate keno lawote kabo 2007 kada 2008-9 o manke kusoto ngote abe bola dulale to ay lo dulato.
From 2007 to 2009.
From 2007 to 2009.
And what did you do after that?
Biro batala ina tamuneke kotake.
Entrance for special operation. Okay, investigation. Birimbe investigation.
While I was at the investigation department.
Okay, birim pajalo selection of doke no office auto.
Pajalo conducted a selection in the office.
Bondiro doke je.
And some people were selected.
A unit created for me special operation.
He created a unit called the Special Operations.
Okay.
I was amongst the people that were selected.
And
office then.
So he will call people and they will go to his office.
Then few officers were selected.
You'll discuss with him, and then after that, few officers were selected.
Obviously, at this time, you had developed a good relationship with Pajalo, isn't it?
Biro tembo wayatarle inim Pajalo al temmo albe diaring fo amantara wala nyama.
No.
No.
Where dim Pajalo mandali.
I was not even used to Pajalo.
I served Pajalo for a very short period.
My friend, you were oddly to Pajalo.
Yes. I say, Golan and serve partly.
That is why I said I only served him partly.
Look, Mr. Witness.
Okay.
You developed a close relationship with your principal, with whom you served as oddly, carrying his things on a daily basis, taking him from his home to the office, going with him everywhere. You developed a bond. Is that not true?
Well, I'm yintiko. Ebe mume oddly yala. Ikala kaitulu samba inakata inakana alikakuja mata mandi nyote mawairi atele mwila kebati wokono fwena yedali aliye hadama ya alla kule kata nyola hanfo silang aliye nyofahamu famanke wole nyama.
Council, ekonga tonyala for I will not lie.
Council, you told me to tell you the truth and I will not lie.
Just answer the questions.
Nimpa jalo mo soto mbuga samba suokono.
We don't have that relationship with Pajalo. I never took him home.
Naka ben official to.
We only meet at the office.
Na do ko fana mamme.
And also, the time that I served him was not a long time.
Give us give us time frames.
Sai wato fonye.
How long did you serve him?
E wati jele kate
We will always check the records.
Mbe kaitolu jubela le kaitolu bile kere
Mame karifula ayasi because akalafta keba kanterla kebal or dokula kebal anunte mudindingola.
I don't think it's up to 2 months because he said that he wanted an experienced guard and I was a junior officer.
En kumanda la officer kono akonye officer.
He called me into his office and said to me, "Officer,"
Konye ngamira mbe falinala.
he said to me, "I think I will change you."
Ala reason fonye.
He gave me his reasons.
What was the reason?
Alaw dalilo mumuneti.
Ni atra ko atakela force odi I malafika otofo.
If I told this is not going to be forced out of me, I don't really want to say that.
No, we don't force anybody to answer questions. Here is not the NIA, where people are brutalized to answer questions.
Jammanke NIA ti kamulu tajire ya daminke tilimbali ya puri ya jabiroke. Jang mbukamo force ya jabiroke.
But the law is that when you are asked questions, you are legally obliged to answer.
Bari lua e sembo mendi nyin bunda fanana wale mnyinti ye nyinin ka kokundina lua ya fole puri ya jabi.
Wala nanko ko akabe mfalina la ori sino fonye ayo nkumanda ayo fonye bara dalilo
you give
Which
it?
was why I said,
akenyin ka dalilo le la te dalilo lu men foye munana be falina.
Kansul pajallo mu fure walati I don't ntelef la kuma fo me alon ko obentena temala na amang ke mamela ko
Jallo is late, and I do not want to say anything concerning him, since what transpired was between the two of us.
Answer the question and answer it truthfully.
Akoya jabi yeto nyafo.
ni lafta ngafu by force mbafola.
If you want me to say it by force, I will say it.
You are not being forced to
Imantare
say
force
anything.
kande.
You are legally obliged to answer the question.
Lua le ya fo koy nyanta jabi la le amanke force utide.
Loi en force nsafo.
If I am forced by the law, I will say it.
Answer the question.
Akoya nyinin karo
Yallo
jabi.
ko akonye ko officer mbe falina le because
Jallo said to me, "Officer, I will change you because
nga Nigerian musolo futu science dindim merangole wote.
I just married a Nigerian girl, and she's a young girl,
Nunte mu kebalete.
and I am an elderly person,
And ite mu dindingolete.
and you are a youngster.
So mbe official sambala na me yalan ko wala kebayata.
So I'll bring an officer that is a little older.
Abe tonya dinkira mbe fanya dinkira. This is the reason I meant for you.
He's where he is, and I am alive here, and this is the reason that he gave me.
Where would you see the wife?
Ako fo woto ite ebe kara la musoje la mintole.
Inna do ko continue of course for ngala musoje because for ngata suoko.
If my attachment to him had continued, I will undoubtedly meet his wife, since I would be going to his home.
But you just told us a minute ago that you never used to go to his home.
I never go denka wala fon ko ninna la do ko continue ta. For ngata ala suoko.
I've never been there, but what I said is that if...
Mr. Witness, be careful what you say here.
Isi hakilotu ebe jabirolu kala nyame anibe memfola.
Ben hakil turim bake nga kalam telephone an kam.
I am very, very careful, and I'm aware of what I'm saying.
You just told this commission that you were never going to his house.
Amamme yenyum fo commission ko inene mantaya.
Ha.
Yes.
Why would it now be the case that you would have to be going to his house? You are still in the same job. No change of job description.
Na waire sila muna ba kende la fay bitala bu ngokono andun o bata la ibate o doku kilimala la adun ijanta doku menkela amam falin.
Kansul ni kam moy ko akola na aben falin na because ninna do ko continue ta fongata ala suoko non.
Also, this is why I said he told me that he will change me, because if I continue to working for him, eventually I will go to his home.
Mr. Witness, that doesn't make sense. The fact of the matter is, before he changed you, you were going to his house. As an oddly, you are expected to escort your principal all the way to his home.
Nimbu odliti. Oto iteka odli yake meye. Nyimu lon kulon di multiko. Ikatale aya ina katanyola le aya tumodolu.
That is why he changed you.
Wala na ye falling.
Namanantaya, Pajaloya.
I never went to Pajalo's home.
Let's leave the matter. The commission has enough to determine whether you are lying about not having been to his house or not.
Nga kwotu je commission wolu baju belale wairi kulu be caring ibalon na le fodung inene tata ya le fo inene mantaya.
And then he transferred you to where?
Biro botala le ye sawundi minto
Investigation.
To investigation.
Even though you did not have the qualification.
Hanu ya tara e man kisiro fongo londo e makarang.
Yes.
He did you a favor.
Amunta wo mu makoiro leti.
Pajalo mande transfer investigation. Ko Mahmoud Hydra wale in transfer investigation.
Pajalo did not transfer me to the investigation. It was Mamadou Haidara.
It did not change the fact that you did not have the qualification.
Hanimbi wo manto nyanyim falinde ko ima londo soto katu makarang.
I agree. I agree.
And we've received a lot of evidence here that in the NIA there was a lot of favoritism in the way in which people were given positions. And yours is one case in point. You agree?
Na sede jamal le soto jang ku jamala karola ko NIA wati sotonda ika kolu kenyoye ne kanyo mako ika kolu tamandi nyoye je andu mukuleti me yalon ko allonta NIA wala do ko nyin kono fama nkeonya.
New favor more de Pajalo Makente because Nim Pajalo more relation.
If that was a favor done to me, it wasn't Pajalo because we didn't have that relationship.
Haidara Yake.
And Haidara did it for you.
In December, officially.
It was Haidara that took me there officially.
So Haidara did you that favor?
To Haidara yo makoiro keye.
If you see it that way, it's okay.
No, that is the way it happened.
I did not see it as a favor done to me by Haidara.
You just Haidara is a Gambian equally like me.
Yes, but you are a Gambian without qualifications. You just said it.
Barimu Gambian quality me ya lonko wodoku bunda ay menkaning itema londo soto utumo.
You had no qualification.
But for more than 6 years, I was fresh from school. I was learning some.
The work I was engaged in for 6 years, it was not as if I was just lying down and sleeping. I was also learning during all of the time.
What certificate did you get there?
Certificate.
Understanding the job.
So what certificate did you get there?
Knowing the work. That is what I got there.
Where is that certificate?
Certificate only.
It's inside my head.
Look, stop playing games with the commission and respect the commission and answer questions properly.
Amunta ko momenti commission nyimbunya ye jabirolu ke anyama
ni yenyilinka. Did you have a certificate there or you did not?
Fo ya kaito dilale ko yenyi londi kari sotonne akenyininka wo kaito lela.
No.
Nothing to show for it.
Femfentije mens kaititije mensaitande ko ngani londi kari karanne.
Correct?
Fonde.
Okay.
Okay.
And you rose to become head of special operations.
Andu ila kuolu nata wuli wale nyama foi nata ke wo bunda fango nyato nkoti ika fo bunda me special operations.
Yes.
With no certificate apart from grade 9.
Certificate do table na manke grade 9 londote.
Yes.
But no certificate telbe do ko.
But I was working alongside those who had certificates.
I don't want to get into that.
Malafika bula wokono.
Do you think it is fair
that
people have diplomas in other fields of advanced learning? Allah. You have only your grade 9 certificate and you are their boss? You think it's fair?
Itelu ya mera nyintilintale dolu karanta hanfo ye diploma lu soto londi silo luto. Silang yene palaso ditela me ya lonko wala palaso nyato andu ite grade 9 le soto wol ni la diploma fo tilintale.
Rasul ma mera moka wuli do kudlato lunkile yeke bosti.
Council, I don't think
Just answer the question. Is it fair?
Ako fo
believe
tilinta
that
la
is fair?
kenyinin kawola natara itela miro to tilinta kenyinin kawola
If they had taken somebody with primary 4
ni mota membe primary 4
and brought him in and make the person director of operations and you answer to that person, do you think that would be fair?
sai ni o mari nati primary 4 dindingo yake director of operations lang ite bo wokoto do kola ite dum be grade ite grade 9 soto fo ite do yamere o mutilingol tibang
tilingol en karango ni maralo manke kilingote
it's proper. Education and responsibility is not the same thing.
Mr. Witness,
sedo
our system does not work like that.
kolu be laren telaja nyamen abukata mani wo nyama
Our system says to get to this point you have to have this level of education.
na system na kolu lanya e men kanin jang akanyina kanin ko nyanta nyin londi kari soto nale ya kaito soto isina nyim pala si kari soto pour kadu ko kiji
You did not have the qualifications.
andung itema wo kaito soto
The only qualification you had was beating people.
ite londo men soto e la karole wala nyinde kamolo lipa
That's the only qualification you had which made you rise in that special operations.
o londo wala liparo londo ye wala soto ye men yitandi wala na ye palaso soto
ala me yende da be sede yarente na mana molipa
God is my witness. I have never beaten anybody.
al qur'anu le mutambo to diamo le jen sai min
I
liparo
saw by the Quran.
What's your name again?
e ko to dum
lamin dabo lamin m dabo
Lamin M. Davo.
And what's your position?
ila palaso mumneti
officer commanding
What? Officer commanding.
Okay.
okay
Thank you. Hold a second.
ila moydo mandi
Lamin Dabo, Officer Commanding Special Operations.
Lamin Dabo, officer commanding special operations.
no
Before. Then, yes.
You are now Officer Commanding what?
Saying officer commanding ibejum palace jumal.
gunjur command
Gunjur Command. A whole region.
Ndumu meo.
ha
Yes.
Fantastic.
Akata kawa kuti.
And you said you've never tortured anybody. You've never lift your hand and touch anybody. That's what you said.
Iko inena mammo tajireya. Inene me bulo wulindi kamoma amun yewala foten saying.
ma fo na mana blow le ndim na molipa
I never said I never raised my hand and hit someone.
ko tocho ko na mana mo tocho
I said torture, that I never tortured anyone.
What do you understand torture to mean?
Ye tocho niko tocho yo fahamu nyadile ite aja nyadile.
tocho ntenga may understand as tocho
What I understand torture to be
is very far from beating
is far from beating.
yeah
Interesting.
because ning okay ha woni butero manke liparo manke kelengo
That is not the same with beating.
So, Mudem Liparoti.
What is beating?
liparo ngawolon ko esimo lipano ya balu dimo soto
Beating, I know you can beat somebody and the person experiences body pain,
yemos ya tulo kosi
or you slap the individual,
yeah but torture is different
but torture is
until I
different,
understand kalamtaroto
by my understanding.
and in the interaction with
You see, Mr. Witness, this is why training is important.
Sedo nyinana kata karang wala kakuo karang ya fahamu akumayata baki.
This is why education is important.
Wala na londo kumayata.
You people are just promoted and given jobs
Ya la palaso lu la fadorong ye do kulu dialla.
without the requisite level of education.
Andu woning makamo manta makamo me ya lon ko le londo tie men karang men nyante futandila o tembo.
that is a serious tragedy for our country.
And womuko masai baletin tella nyim bankoye.
Especially for sensitive institutions like the National Intelligence Agency.
Sako dinkira kummalu menu beko bankola tanko ninkanto kullo dinkarim bunda.
The sad thing is, a lot of you people do not even have an inkling of what is an intelligence agency, what it is supposed to be.
Atelu jama bali kono fango alimalom fango munen kullo dinkaringo do ko Kenya fangoti.
In most countries, the intelligence agency is staffed by the people with the highest level of education and appreciation in the country.
Banko dolu kam menu be o pala soluto sako intelligence wolem kullo dinkaringo do ko bunda wolmu molleti men ya lonko kayti saharim balle be bulu londi saharim balle be bulu janni be tala do ko la.
But in Gambia,
Bari Gambia.
Council,
So-
okay.
you are only beating, but you are not torturing.
Amunta wolem nyenti e kali paroke bari ibuka mo tocho.
Is that your testimony?
Wala fole mo wala mo la kuma kangoti.
Ngali paroke damende ninga kalam dambe ha ngali paroke.
Yes, I did beatings.
No, nko niarta ko ako ngali paroke le bari mbuka tocho ko nko ninga case fonye me alo ngali paroke jemba fala ngali paroke.
You said I did do beatings but not torture. But if you mention any case where I actually did the beating, I'll admit it.
The question is,
Nyininkaro mumente.
what are you telling the commission?
Ebe mena fokan commission e.
You are only beating, but you are not torturing.
E
Is
kali
that
paroke
your
ba-
testimony?
E kali paroke bari ibuka mo tocho. Fo dum wala fa mo ila kuma kangoti ba.
No ninga of which means ko nko nembeli parola o mbe tochola.
If I said that, it means I am admitting to beating or torture.
You just told the commission that you are beating, but you are not torturing.
No.
Bari-
Difference. Nko difference between beating na understanding to ani tocho. Mbe wala fo kan tema fo nga mo butero ni nka butero le ko waranka tocho le ma of council.
I didn't tell you whether I beat or torture. I was just trying to give you the difference between the definitions of beating and torture by my understanding.
Mr. Witness,
Sedo.
are we in a different room?
Fombe bundo le kono.
Ani be bunkele ngalo.
No, we are in the same room.
You told the commission a little while ago
Enyum fo commission e wati sutun komando ko.
you are disagreeing without hearing what I have to say.
Amun debe balang de kang imana mo folo mbe mem fo kang.
So the attitude is just to say no.
Amun ta wala nyinti nyine be kono ka fodorong hani.
You told the commission a little while ago.
Yenyum fo commission e wati sutun komando.
I asked the question.
Na nyinin karo leke.
Are you telling this commission that you've never raised your hand to beat anybody?
Ay nyinin kanyi na fo iteko. Inene me bulo wulindi purka moma kalipa.
You said no, you did not say that.
Iko hani ite mawofo.
You said yes, you have raised your hand, you had beaten people,
Ifango ko ye bulo wulindi le de ye molipa.
but you don't understand that
I
as
didn't say
torture.
that.
Ma of na diamo kono.
I didn't say that in my
I did not
statement.
mention this.
Okay.
Eko council eko.
Council, you said
Ngali paro tocho nka menke wale na palaso wulindi up to a rank of special operation.
that the torture that I was doing, that was what elevated me to the rank that I hold now.
Wale yin diamo do je nati baranta ma fo nka tocho le ko ngali paro le.
That is what brought this
Leko
discussion.
tocho wale nka la palaso futandi woto.
All right, let me ask the question again.
Yo woto mbar nge nyinin ka kotake.
Have you ever beaten anybody in your job?
Ite nene ye molipa le bang ila do ko kono.
I cannot remember.
Mr. Witness, you are lying.
Sedo ebe kuma sotom safari ngulu bijang ila kaito lu bijang.
In fact, let me just... Wait, let me go to your statement. I will take a look at it carefully, and we will come back to that.
Baju bela kende kembe murula nanje kang.
Your testimony is you have never touched anybody.
Amunta ila sede yaro ikame mfola mnyinti ete nene mama.
You've never beaten anybody.
Nene moli pa fereng.
Good. Namana mo buti na hakilo to signed.
I never beat up anybody.
Answer clearly.
I cannot remember.
Sir Witness,
Sedo.
playing games.
Ibe midali ibe miningulela.
I cannot remember.
I'm not playing games.
You cannot remember ever hitting anybody, or you've never hit anybody in the job. You are putting I cannot remember as a caveat, so that when you are caught, you now say, oh, now I remember.
Amunta hakilo mamuta ilafta wala kala sembe ranguti ning itata ko sede ya bondi watu meng iko ha nyina tale sanno hakilo yaji.
Ngana jamal ke jante nana statement di ko ngamo butere.
I made several trips to this place, but I never gave any information that I beat up anybody.
Answer the question. The question is not whether in your statement you have said you have beaten anybody. That's not the question. The question is, Mr. Witness, answer my question.
Okay.
You cannot be answering your own question. You understand? Have you ever beaten anybody in your job? And don't give me this remember thing. Answer yes or no.
I never beat up anybody in the course of my work.
Thank you very much. In fact, do you realize that you are the most notorious torturer at the NIA?
Falung, emanyim fahamu ko, menu be tobo ta tajire yala NIA ite fombe bole kono.
That is not true.
In fact, do you realize that you are, apart from Alaji Moore, you are the second most mentioned torturer at the NIA?
Fo, emanyi lonko, Alaji Moore kola, menu diamuta ye tolu menu fo, etolo moti mento la tajire ya siata ye tolu menu fo, etele to siata o to fo ringulu kono, Alaji Moore kola.
If that was said, it is not the truth.
All the witnesses who testified against you, that you are the boss of the torturers, they were all lying against you.
Menu be diamuta jang. Iko tajirewulu kono men kamolu tilimbalia etele moyla nyato nkoti ka foko sayin e ka foko ulbebe fan yalla
men yo fojang e mira kumol le fa be fan yalla.
Those who say those things are always speaking what they want to say, and it's a lie.
Now let's talk about
these are allegations against me.
Yes, because what is so special about you that all these people would come and lie against you?
Say munan na itemu jumaleti hanu fo nyimolu bebi na la jang bebe te kilin tofola muna moti foyete da manne jije bang.
Okay, all mol mu jumaleti silang na mela.
In fact, who are those individuals?
And just answer the question.
Ani ke nyinin ka men na ko yo jabi.
Malo mune bula wala.
I do not know what led them to saying those things.
Let's talk about Lamin Kabu.
Lamin Kabu la kumofo.
And his arrest.
Alamuto.
And that of the people who he was being investigated with.
Ani mulu ibani menu la kuo kisi kanyola.
Lamin Kabu.
Lamin Kabu.
Fernando Ku. And Sumana Fati. Lamin Sima. Tijandur. Alaji Sajo. And others.
Anindo kotengu.
Did you touch any one of them?
Fodun wulu kono ite bulo man ma hanimo kilin ne kono.
All these people that you have mentioned, I know nothing about their issue. I did not touch any one of them.
Yeah.
Yes. During the course of that entire operation, what I did there, I told the investigators, I think I even told you.
Which is?
I said during the course of the operation, when we left Brikama, The people who had that operation money ran away.
And suspected drug winning.
With the suspected drugs.
So
we were in that chase.
Okay, mol men operation ground out Brikama.
At the operation ground in Brikama.
Mol men mutataji ol Samba Banjul.
The people who were arrested there were taken to Banjul.
Okay, we came to
Banjul in the night.
Babu, I cannot remember. Babu Cham, Mala Nijumal Samanam Banjul.
Babu Cham and some other person, I cannot remember, were the ones that were brought to Banjul.
Bring all drop Banjul.
When we dropped them at Banjul,
they all proceed and that guest house dolbe Bakote.
We proceeded to one guest house in Bakote.
All right. Okay, finish.
Okay, nting allow guest house also with Lamin Hydra and one Mahmoud Sise.
I spent the night there with Lamin Hydra and one Mahmoud Sise and Dembambai.
Dembambai, if I can remember. But 4 of us or 3 of us. Then BJ for Somanda around 11 Mafang.
We were there in the morning around 11 a.m.
Monata dunta guest house auto.
Someone came and entered the guest house.
Okay, but Janni Moni Mina.
But before that person came in,
bring around after 10 Somanda.
Around after 10 a.m.
Another Hydra Kumandi, Lamin Hydra.
They called Lamin Hydra.
Because I told him financial director then.
Because he was the then financial director.
Prateta officer at mall attend.
So that he could go to the office and attend to people.
Then I intend Mamadou Sise to ye.
He left me and Mamadou Sise.
Okay. Ni Mamadou Sise be for in time for after 11.
So I was there with Mamadou Sise until this time, around after 11.
We
saw a man come in and enter into the guest house.
Okay. Adunta drong. Komamudi abula fire dum bila dunta drong dunta no mangar be futala drong abelori reception no bila engine bedun kan rek he started running. I
told Mamadou to wait for him until he enters inside. So as soon as he got in, we followed and we found him at the reception. No sooner did he see us than he began to run.
We chased him.
And we chased after him.
Restaurant actually.
We chased him from that restaurant.
Therefore, Bakote SOS, I cross.
We went up to the Bakote SOS. He ran across the road.
Okay. At the street
we got into one street.
Was Kanyat Kotu Mafanglaje.
It was the street was heading towards Kotu.
I sell the fence or sand.
He climbed over a fence.
After Birasel the fence or sand, after Jolon, fight near Jolombe Bunakidola.
He climbed on the fence and wanted to jump to the other side, and I told him, don't do it, because if you try that, I will shoot you.
By Janning, after file, I want shot Kesanto.
But he wanted to throw himself over to the other side of the fence, and I shot a warning shot.
A fence can fire in Mina Sutia after Jolan Conor.
He was on the fence, and he saw me coming. As I was getting closer to him, he tried to jump over. I shot him on the leg.
Was he armed?
For Jorango Babulu Bangate Fanang.
Birimba Sudlama Olomba, Bilim Fudata Mangasiga, Manjoran Jabul, Am Jabul.
When I was shooting him, I did not know about that. But when I found him and picked him up, I did not see any arms with him.
Did he threaten you with harm in any way?
Faye silandi le kombe nyin kukar kelela wala ay jorang bondi ke silandi.
Honey?
No.
But it na briefing to ngani information o soto ko se Guinea Bissau sojaro dolbe nyin konole.
During the course of my briefing, I was informed that there were some ex-Guinea Bissau soldiers who were involved in this drug operation.
Here you are. You just shot at somebody who was running away.
Saying ifelenti jang yemu bung membe bori kanu.
Question is,
so that I could apprehend him, yes.
Any threat?
Uruka apprehend, yes.
so that I could apprehend him.
Were you under any threat?
Ninkaro munyeti fo etebe tembo mento tumo ibe sila nyale kono banka fo kube kelela.
Of course.
What threat?
Mune wo sila nyati.
Mbeme no malong anunga so ngai kibaro sotoko. Jinebisa sojar fula be nyun kono le.
But the person that I was pursuing, I do not know the person, and I also got information that 2 Guinea-Bissau soldiers were involved in this operation.
Mr. Witness, you did not see the person with any arm. He was climbing over a fence. You even had the chance to speak to him. Correct?
I was talking to him, yes.
Yes.
But at a very far distance.
Yes, but you did not see any weapon pointed at you. He was far away from you. Why did you shoot him?
I shoot him so that he will not escape from me.
Precisely.
I shot him so that he would not escape.
But do you think that is a justifiable use of force?
In the air.
But I gave him a warning shot in the air.
But it is justifiable. Okay. Just a moment. If something was happening here and I come and give a warning shot and people don't respond, I have a right to shoot them?
Ninata jangam kube ke kanjanga mulu diamundi hanfo ngakido faisanto purke silandi imanjabi fodung nyimunna nyantolti purke bung.
Council, drug operation is always risky, very, very risky.
What was the risk against you?
Munemu kukolengoti masibaku mensi tilinno itela.
This guy was climbing over the fence. He had no weapon. You were under no threat. What was the risk against you?
Nyimari jiburantabulu abe borikang purka selesan sangola fasi kana. Sa oto kutije menyantete silandila.
Nyimari botna nte o direction maf o direction olla. So na imba mbore ni fo mafangola andunga knowledge bembulje ko sojarol le benyin ko koma. Akasaunda maskeno akandundi fenne kanje.
This man is coming from the
only
area that he was running towards, and I also got information that they were ex-soldiers, they were soldiers in this operation. So perhaps he was just trying to take me to a zone where they could compromise
Danger
me.
One, yeah.
Mr. Witness, you perceived no immediate threat to you.
Otembo silanya kute je itesi dumenkono.
There was none.
Of course.
Where was it?
There was a threat.
Where was the threat?
In that fence, in that compound, I don't know who is there or what is there.
And that is the threat?
Yes, to me, yeah.
Mr. Witness, you are truly one of a kind.
What kind?
You are not truthful.
Barka.
Thank you.
You are not truthful.
Barka.
Thank you.
There was absolutely no threat. You saw him with no weapon. All he was doing was running away. By the fact that he was climbing over the fence means that he was getting away from you and not coming to you. There was no threat to you.
I heard you.
Shooting him was unjustified.
I accept.
And when you went back to the NIA, nothing happened to you. You were not even investigated for shooting him.
Femmo mawoto and wole no shooting wole fanayat nango kodo nyin droko nyin recover.
But nothing was hidden. But that shooting that I did also led to the recovery of the money and the drugs.
And you think that the fact that you have recovered money has justified the shooting that you made?
Kafoka aliye kodo nyinje wole duya atilindi silo lako otoite bundiro menke wole nyanda.
Council, apprehend.
Council, I did not shoot this individual to kill him. I shot him to apprehend him.
It was excessive use of force.
Okay,
agreed.
In fact, you were trigger happy during that operation. Anyone that knows a gun would not be trigger happy.
Well, that was not the first set of bullets you issued.
Those are not
the first shots you fired.
That is the first bullet I fired.
That is not true.
Apart from warning shot.
Apart from the warning shot which I released earlier on.
The operation the night before you fired shots.
No.
Allah janjum follow menketa suuto janni wo fanikewa yekido fay jele
Oman soto witness all na rejanne be o senendi male very well.
That is not
and I
true.
told your investigators I did not fire. That was an allegation.
What happened? Did bullets come out of your weapon?
Of course, yes. In the car that I was in.
But that's not true. You just said that as a cover-up. You fired shots.
Counsel, the taxi driver was here and he attested to that.
He attested to what?
To the misfire that occurred in his car.
Which taxi driver?
A taxi driver he came here. We all came here our first trip with that taxi driver and a witness to that particular incident.
There was a shootout in that operation.
Shoot out?
Yes. So confirmed it.
No, that's not correct. That's not correct.
Mr. Witness, you were quick to fire your weapon. You wanted to hurt people.
No, that's not correct.
Operation
in Brikama, from Brikama to Bakote, no gunshots were fired. I don't even know anyone with a gun.
Yes.
But you had a gun?
Of course.
Yes. Bullets were fired from your gun?
I have misfire and I gave that side of the story. That was in the taxi, in between my legs. Taxi saw.
It even penetrated
Taxi
the
driver
taxi.
came here. The
Did
witnesses
you
came
have
here.
any injuries?
I did not say that
down.
it hit my leg. It went downwards and bore a hole through the taxi.
We would look further into that, but I know I could recall, so I asked him these questions. Were shots fired? And he said yes. During the operation. Let's move on.
As far as I am concerned.
No, let's move on. Let me,
please allow
yes,
me.
go ahead.
As far as I'm aware,
operation to reinforce these people.
when I was sent to make as reinforcement to the operation, Brikama Kembuje,
for buying and selling
up to the spot where the buying and selling was taking place, I did not see
So did not say he was present.
Okay. So information in the past week is not correct. Definitely.
If he has said that, then he passed on an information which is not correct.
Fire,
Mr. Witness. So never said he was present. In fact, he said he was not in the operation.
So ma fabije andung ama ayafale fankate mantar operation on.
No, he was nako mantra operation on. That's not correct.
If he says that he
went
was
for
not
the subsequent
in the
arrest.
that is not correct.
He went for the subsequent arrest.
Atata ma be mo le konomenu tata mutarola.
Counsel, sorry to clear this point, please. So in operational, entirely musola operational. Then he was the director of external CEO. What more atlemu director the memoratan bantala mol staff
and
this operation was entirely SO's operation because at the time he was director of our agents who were posted outside.
What was his title? What was his title?
Director of external.
Director of external what?
External affairs.
What?
Director of external affairs.
You don't even know the proper titles of the positions in the NIA.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any position as director of external affairs?
Director of Martin staff sol min be banda. That's how we
tell us in English what is the proper title.
Who are posted outside of the
director
Gambia.
Responsible. Whoever director that is responsible for our external staff, that's how we call them.
Tell us the proper title.
Amunda palazzo nyinto akawale nyininga.
DEX, that's what I told you.
D is what?
DEX, Director of External, Director of External Services.
You had to take it from the commissioners?
It's no problem, however, but what I'm trying to say...
The fact of the matter is,
what
Mr.
I'm trying to tell you, fine.
Listen, don't talk over me.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'm not talking over you.
Good. You don't even know the titles of the positions at the NIA. Isn't that disappointing?
Thank you.
That's very good.
No,
Thank you.
amam betea.
It is not good.
It is disheartening.
Thank you.
But in
that operation, Mr. Witness, you are operating on high octane. When you went for the arrest of Babu Cham, didn't you?
Yes, I was part of that team.
And when you arrived at the NIA with him, where did you go?
Babu Cham, I cannot remember exactly, but I was driving my own.
I cannot remember which vehicle he was in but I was driving my own vehicle.
Okay, bring a motor park.
When I parked the vehicle, when we got inside and I parked the vehicle, I climbed upstairs. I went inside and went upstairs.
Conference hall.
When I was getting into the conference hall, Babu Cham and others had preceded me, and I saw him removing his shirt.
Okay, that
was how I came down and went away. I did not even get into the conference hall.
And that's the time we left for that particular guest house. That interaction...
Mr. Witness, you have jumped a lot of things.
Okay,
let's listen to Babu Cham.
Please assist me.
He said, you arrived there with him. You are the people who escorted him in. You deny that?
That's not correct. That information is not correct, Council.
But if you were not there with him, how could you have seen him taking off his clothes?
But that's what I'm telling you.
Mr. Witness, listen. You said you were not there with him. You did not escort him there.
No, I say I did not say I did not escort him. Babu from his compound in Brikama.
From Brikama? I was in that team, but we were the last ones to return to Banjul.
Mr. Witness, this is not about being in the same car with him.
Okay.
I did not get into the conference hall.
Well,
if he give that testimony, it's a false testimony.
Babu Cham said,
nobody will say
when he arrived there, listen, when he arrived there, there was Alaji Moore present, and Sukuta Jame, Lamin Mbai, Dembo Mbai. And you people arrived with him. As soon as you arrived, Alaji Moore was beating. He was beating these other guys, Fernando Ku, and the others. And you joined in. Is he lying?
He lied. Testimony, Jamala testimony and Babu Cham testimony, I listened to it.
I missed some testimonies, but I listened to that of Babu Cham.
This is a completely lie.
Babu Cham said, I got in there.
Okay, step by step.
I took away and I was telling the people who were tortured and crying that if they did not keep quiet, I was going to add the beating. But that is a lie.
When you arrived, was anybody being beaten?
I did not get inside. That's what I told you.
Because I have to park my car and come to upstairs.
Babu and others went before me. But when I got there, I saw Babu. It was either he was removing his shirt or putting it on.
Did he
not get inside.
All his clothes?
I did not see that.
So he did not remove his clothes?
I said I didn't see that. The
problem is, Mr. Witness, how could you not have seen it? Babu Cham is not a small man. And he took off everything.
I didn't see that. Good news. Well, I did not see him conversing.
Okay, just hear me out.
Okay.
You saw him taking it off, but you did not see him take it off. That is what you said telling us.
Amante be ñin fokanko yaaje ko ay fengulu bondi bari ina ñim fana jele ko amanna la fengulu bondi même momenti
ko
I said.
Let me repeat
what I said to you. I said to you that when I held on the knob of the conference room,
I get out of the conference hall. I did not enter.
Oh my God.
I did not enter.
Perhaps counsel you could.
I am not so for
Counsel, could
like
you,
this.
Could you ask
like
the
if I
witness
want to
to
either
speak
undress,
slowly
undress
and
or whatever, I saw Counsel, I will not sit here
Mr.
and lie.
Witness, please save us that.
No,
Save
no, I have
that.
to remind you, on the oath.
Yes, you are on the oath, but
Yes.
are you behaving like someone who is on the oath?
Of
You've
course.
been lying consistently.
I don't lie.
Okay, let's proceed.
Okay?
Let's proceed. Okay?
Yeah.
Ansumana.
ansumana
Ngansumana. He suffered serious injuries.
baramul
Which
ketabala
Ansumana?
Party.
I don't know any of these people that you are talking about. I have never interacted with them throughout this operation, even Lamin Kabu or Lamin Sima. None of them. And I told you this. I told you investigators.
Babu Cham told this commission
babu chame nyinko fo commission to janko
that when they were taken to Bambadinka,
biri
or to the
samba
cell,
bamba
to the other
wala
cell,
seloto
Ansumana told him that the injuries he suffered on his private parts were as a result of beating by Lamin Dabo.
ako baramulu menu ketabala hanufo akeya bala liparole yo siyama me yalon ko lamin dabala ya lipa
Okay. So in consulate from Ojube, momente ma long, namanaje, nama interact.
Now, counsel, look at this way. Someone that I have never met, someone that I have never known, someone that I have never interacted with.
Okay, yo lipa, weta selo kona babu cham fango, that was the first night I entered. Babu, where for babu cham ko lamida wale lipa fa embarama. And in conference holo me alan ko mandunje, lipa robe kele jiwato me, I was not there.
And for that person to tell Lamin Cham, someone that I had only seen that night, when in essence I have not even gotten into the conference hall.
So I
leave that to you to make the judgment.
No, I was not there. No. I cannot be.
Mr. Witness, you answer that question. Why would Ansumana Fati tell Babu Cham that it was you who inflicted that injury on him? And there were a host of other NIA agents. He didn't mention any one of them. He mentioned you, Lamin Dabo.
Ansumana never interacted.
Ansumana bafula ko itele ya lipa fo ya barama ke yato adun NIA mo jamal le bije amammo mondin tofo ulukono fa yete dammanne tofo munana bokela
Babu Cham ko Ansumana lewo fire. That is hearsay.
Babu Cham said that Ansumana told him.
Babu Cham lembang, Lamin Kabu lemba, whoever. I was not part of that investigation.
I never interacted with these individuals.
Okay,
how would I be someone that I have never interacted with? How would that person even know that this is Lamin Dabo?
All right.
Na mina ko council. Namela council kamu kidola wale garauta dan kamo lipa o kamo bute. And I told you this earlier.
Mr. Witness, allow for the interpretation.
Okay.
You want what you are saying to be recorded so that the commission would consider it in evaluating your evidence. So if you speak too fast, this is not a laughing matter.
I'm not laughing. I cannot laugh here, council.
Okay. If you speak too fast, the interpreters may not get what you are saying, and if it is not recorded, that would not be to your advantage. So allow for time between your speech and that of the interpreter, so that everything is recorded. You understand? Good. So on this particular issue, okay, Babu Cham has said you have attacked these suspects who were being beaten by Alaji Moore when you arrived. You denied that.
Alaji Moore benyul menu lipakang birite fanam futata drong ifanang kafute male amunta saying wa mukuma soto balol.
That is not true.
So that is a lie.
Amunda umfani alde.
Yes.
Okay. Babu Cham told the commission that this person, Ngansumana Fati, confided in him that the injuries he had received on his private parts were inflicted by you. That too is a lie.
Akachata tumu mena Babu Cham ye ko baramo memba akeya bala ko itele yo ake wokala wokabara mawonya amunda ayo memfana mfonya ufana mfani alde.
It's a lie. I have never gotten insight to interact with them, so how would I be in a position to injure him?
Okay. Now let's move on.
Atenteng. Kabu.
No, before that.
At
this time, during this operation, who were you working with?
Nyintembe wo operation okono iteni njumanyo lebedu kuala nu.
Mustafa Sise.
Omar Jamme. I understand Dembombai was there.
Dembombai.
Lamin
Haidara.
Who? Yes, because this operation, like coming out for Yemen.
Just as I told you,
new operation on Temantara Nuakono. Operation on Musola operation.
I was not part of this operation because this was source operation.
But Malong operation on Munekeda, in other reinforcement, Munekede Bulfay reinforcement or call.
I do not know what happened in the operation which warranted them to call for enforcement.
Okay, that is the time you enter key. Operation
That was when I was sent. So when I went up to the area where the operation was taking place, I did not understand what the operation entailed. As I explained, when I got to the place,
Mustafa Sise taxi kono.
I found Omar and Mustafa Jamme inside the taxi.
Omar Jamme and Mustafa Sise.
Omar Jamme and Mustafa Sise.
You have explained that quite clearly.
Yeah.
All right. At this time, during this operation, you were working for special operations, correct?
Yes.
Special operation
yeah.
Who was the head of your unit?
Allah bunda wo budoko almenbe atelmen bedoko la jumala ya nyatonkaya.
Utumo Alaji Moore.
At the time it was Alaji Moore.
What's his full name?
Ato fongo bedum.
It is a job, I believe.
It is a job, I believe.
Who was his 2IC?
Jumale simbate kang.
At this time?
O tembo mem matela assistant men simbate kang.
Then I don't know, either Gajaga or ARK Jallo. I don't know. I cannot remember, sorry.
But you were part of the team?
I was part of the team.
And do you realize that this team had a bad reputation?
For imanyim fahamu ko wakafo molu yeto kuyarim bale soto NIA malon fayalon.
Alaji Moore.
I did not say Alaji Moore.
Okay.
I said this team, special operations, had a bad reputation at the NIA.
Akama fo Alaji Moore de bara kole kafo nying menube wo bundala yeto kuma bale soto NIA bundatu je.
I was not aware of that.
In fact, special operations was there to carry out special tasks that interested Yaya Jammeh.
Amunta special operations ibije nyine kama kadu kuolu dolu tamandi me yalonko ya Jammeh la finna ko lem woluti.
Correct.
That is not correct.
What was their function?
Special operation nga functions for patrol.
Their functions are patrolling.
Patrol what?
Night patrols.
Night patrols.
Suto kandaro.
To carry out executive directives. Witnessing.
Hold on a second. Executive directives of who?
Jumala kuma kangolo purka wolu tamandi niko executive directives wole mkuntonkola ya marolu jumala modi
for the former president. President Koto.
For the former president.
But I just told you that special operations was to carry out activities which Yaya Jammeh was interested in, but you refused that.
But basansa amamme ba kay nyim foko also special operations e kaw do ko lu menuke wol do ko lu jamaabe kono ya Jammeh la finna ko le molti balanta
directives be bukala interest court.
All the directives were not always matters that interested him.
Are you with us?
Of course I'm with you.
He gives a directive. He is the chief executive, the commander-in-chief.
Okay, I agree. Sonda.
I agree.
Sonda.
I agree.
Aninka ni minister Bondi, ka minister do signed je until fananka witness.
And also, when a minister is sacked and being replaced by the other, we usually witness that also.
No, you enforce it.
No, I witness it. I don't enforce. I witness it.
Mr. Witness.
Yes.
You don't just go and stand and witness. You go and enforce it.
Albukata doron kalo kajube rokede alikajele ko ayke anyama aliyata mandi.
Then men be attend man thing enforce. I witness it.
All the occasions that I was present in, I did not enforce anything, I only witnessed it.
Okay. Only senior killing.
Only once.
This nimu Edu Gomez ning Marcin Firdaus, huh?
The case of Edu Gomez and Maris Firdaus.
I don't remember Nyama.
But all I can recall her name properly.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Witness.
When I was sent there to go there and be a witness,
this was
it was close to 7 p.m.
I
went and found Edu Gomez.
Taking over Kela.
He was to take over
from Mari. Okay, Marina da call ke.
Mari made a call and spoke to him, and Mari said that she was not feeling well.
Okay, nga message ni relay back to my boss then, Liz Gomez.
I relayed the message back to my boss then, Liz Gomez, and I said to him that
the outgoing minister, why not ngabulaje for Sama Somanda?
The outgoing minister has reported sick. Why don't we leave this thing and carry it out tomorrow?
Okay, I'll get back to you.
And he said, okay, I'll get back to you.
So another call Koteke.
But then he called me again.
Ako president ko for atlem president or fontelem president.
Ako?
The lady said that the president said, is the lady the president or he is the president?
No, ako president ko.
He said the president said that. That suggested that the woman be allowed until tomorrow. Whether I am the president or he was the president.
Okay.
And what did that mean?
Which means we have to do it by force. The handing and taking over has to take place. So I drive not Edu TJ, ndada marinomas ala suokon.
So I left Edu there and I drove and I went and met Mari in her home.
Angako, please.
And I said to her, please. After we spoke, and I suggested to you to wait until tomorrow because I suggested that to her.
Report back,
when I reported back,
okay,
the response that I got,
mfana ma risk start then nata no manga pil tay pour ngata drive for je taking and handing over.
I couldn't take the risk, which was why I had to drive to her house to appeal to her so that she could come and effect the handing over.
Did she have a choice?
No, she doesn't.
Exactly.
Doesn't have a choice.
But this is what I told you, that you were to enforce these changes. You said you were only to witness.
Okay. This is why I remember only once.
Mr.
That is in the case. I told you that.
I was the one that told you that there was only one time.
I remember only one case. This is it. Mary is still alive.
Mr.
I am alive.
Witness, the issue is
Comment.
your role as special operations in these with regards to these executive orders was to implement them, to enforce them by force. That was your role, to make sure that it happened.
Allalo dula momenti wo executive orders la Carola. Wolem nyinti ko aliya ko tamandi ayke ko anyanta ala atelafta la nyaming amunta wolem ko kumuti.
I accept not to waste your time and to trouble you or to trouble myself. I accept.
Well, I think if you are honest and truthful, we would proceed very quickly. But if you think you can play games and waffle around and lie, at the end of the day, we will get the answers that we need. You would have wasted a lot of time.
This is not a place to play
Then
games.
stop playing games.
I'm not
This is why I bring it to you.
I told you that we never enforced, but then I remembered this issue. That was why I brought it to you, to your attention.
Do you know what executive directive means?
Fayalon kafo executive directive akoto fa mumundi wo kalimo akoto mumundi yalon.
Mr. Chair, perhaps. Go ahead.
Ko president la yamar lolu wala kumakamon.
The directives of the president.
The instructions of the president that a particular act must be done.
Yes.
Do you have a choice in that?
For ye nyado sotole isi mentamandino woto bam president wala wo kumakangulu na emenu fo.
Yes,
sometimes I got them.
I'll bring an instant to you, please. That of Usman Jammeh. Bra Usman Jammeh Bondi.
When Usman Jammeh was sacked.
Usman Jammeh handing over.
And requested that he makes a handing over.
It was in the rainy summer.
It was during the rainy season.
I think Batin Hiding Highway, Jam.
By the Batin Hiding Highway.
Energy Ministry. Ni Usman tada foje.
I went there at the Energy Ministry with Usman.
Kurango tata.
The lights went off.
So, mang handing over, taking over Keno.
We couldn't effect the handing over and taking over.
Nga call back to the office. I appealed.
I made a call back to the office and appealed.
Mr. Witness, please don't waste our time.
Okay.
The question was whether you had a choice.
I don't have a choice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, perhaps we can take the coffee break. Thank you. Microphone.
Saying that, witness, you can prevaricate and prevaricate, but this commission is going to extract the tooth. We will take a 30-minute break, for coffee, and then come back. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
ci géej gi du géej gi am na njëriñ kaay leen ñu naan ndox mu seet a wóor nappi leen man de nappi na nappi leen man de nappi na sunu moole jàmbaar leen ñu dañu daan dem ci géej gi di nappi suñu waree naan ndox mu neex dañuy naan ndox mu neex a neex a neex a neex mu yéen nañ leen ñu dem ci géej gi am na njëriñ kaay leen ñu naan ndox mu seet a wóor nappi leen man de nappi na nappi leen man de nappi na.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to yet another Fisheries and Water Resources Forum. I am your host, Mam Chamsi Njai. We'll be featuring the handing over ceremony of fishing materials donated to the Fisheries and Water Resources Ministry by SUKU. SUKU is a sub-regional fisheries commission